This should do. How do you feel?
Oh, can't complain. After all, there's a cozy tree in my back.
But I promise, this will be the last fire. After tonight, it won't be trees anymore, but walls and a roof. In shiring, I will find a job.
What if the bishop wants to hire you for life? To keep his palace in shape, maybe strengthen the town's defenses. Plain things, Tom Builder. Just walls and roofs.
There. Took me a lifetime to find some dry ones in this wet. Why didn't we just use your staff? That old thing would have done nicely.
Because that thing is precious. It's not made to burn. And we might be able to sell it. Right, now let's see if this does the trick.
Martha, you want to cut up some turnips? We'll be making soup.
If it helps.
Alfred, you go and look for water.
We could just eat snow.
No, it'll be proper water for my family. You sit, I'll take care of it.
You still haven't answered my question, Tom Builder. What if the bishop offered you a job like they did in Exeter? Something that is beneath your craft, but pays for a lifetime. Easy work.
Well, building something is never easy.
You know what I mean. After Exeter, you said I could create something that matters, something that stands for eternity, or I could die setting up houses and sheds. But what if houses and sheds would feed your family? Would you stay this time, or would you keep on looking?
I'd be glad to stay.
Would you now? Just promise me you'll think about it.
It's just a staff, not a divining rod.
Maybe we can sell the baby.
Alfred!
I'm joking. Don't listen to me.
Stupid snow. Why did it have to come down just now?
Should never have let...
Houses and sheds. Oh. Harder, Tom, harder. Walls and roofs. I'd be glad. I should be glad.
Tom, what's keeping you? And did you think about what I asked you?
Dreaming of building a cathedral was foolish. When we get to Shiring, I'll take the job.
Why is a cathedral so special?
Well, you've seen a few. You should know.
Yes, but there are so many already. Why do you have to build another one? Is it because God needs more houses?
May I?
If you must.
Well. Actually, a cathedral isn't so different from any other house. It always starts simple, with some walls.
And on top of that, you put a roof.
Very good. A roof to keep off the rain, and walls to keep up the roof. Together that makes one big, long, but dark room. Like a cave. So of course you may want some light coming in.
Windows.
Right. So the people inside can see what they're doing.
I think you forgot something. People can't get in if there are only walls.
Right. That's why we mustn't forget the doors. And not only doors, but a big and impressive one to let in as many people as possible. By now we've carved quite a few holes in our cathedral. Unfortunately, not every building can carry a roof like that, and have so many windows.
So what do we do?
Good and solid work, that's what we do. If we don't want our cave to collapse, we have to make everything perfect. Not only strong, but consistent and perfectly even. The walls, the roof, the windows, everything perfectly proportioned.
You shouldn't say big words like proportioned when talking to a child.
What does it mean?
It means beauty. Well, it means not only will it keep them dry, it will give them hope. Agnes?
Mama?
The baby is coming.
But it's not due. Have your waters broken yet?
Soon after we started walking this morning.
You should have told me.
I'm so tired. I don't believe I can bring it into the world.
Well, look at all the blood.
Children? Martha? Collect some reeds and make me 2 lengths of string, each big enough for a necklace.
What for?
You'll see.
What about me?
Get more water. Take snow if you must and make it warm.
Right.
Let me cover you.
Oh, your hands are cold.
I could warm them for you.
No. Stay here. Please.
Right, what can I do to help?
Stay with me.
The water's warm now.
Put it next to me. Remember when Martha was born and the Lady Isabella acted as midwife?
You were building a chapel, and you asked her to send her maid to fetch the midwife from the village.
Yeah, and she said, that drunken old witch will let her deliver a litter of wolfhound pups, and she took us to her own chamber. And poor Lord Robert could not go to bed until Martha was born.
But why are you talking about that now? She's bleeding.
I'm here with you.
I know. It's not long now. Be ready.
I'd say for a year as bad as this one, we've managed quite well.
You lost your work. And then Martha almost got killed by that pig thief. You call that well?
We're going through hell.
I know. But we're still here for each other, aren't we? Holding together as a family. Us builders aren't carved out of measly wood. Never were.
You expect a lump of granite to come falling from my legs?
I wouldn't be surprised. Alfred. Take care of your little sister.
She's all right. She's busy. Let me help too.
It's coming! Help me, Tom! It's coming!
I can see it.
It looks horrible.
He's perfect. A perfect boy. You're still bleeding.
It's all right. It will stop soon. Tom.
Yes?
Thank you for being my midwife. Do you remember the night I came to you? In your lodge? When you were working on my father's church?
Of course. How could I ever forget?
I never regretted giving myself to you. Never. For one moment. Every time I think of that night, I feel so glad.
Me too.
I hope you build your cathedral.
I thought you were against it.
I was. But I was wrong. You deserve something beautiful. Build a beautiful cathedral. For me.
Papa, what's wrong with her face?
Agnes. Agnes, wake up.
The year of our Lord 1135 had come to an end. King Henry of England, son of William the Conqueror, had died. It was a time of poverty and death. In their despair, some had come to believe Christ and all his saints had gone to sleep, and that the pillars of the earth themselves had begun to crumble. Is there no one to welcome us?
Who goes there? You just crossed the bridge, right? That'll be a farthing for you and a penny for your horse.
How dare you ask a toll from a monk? Do you know who I am, brother?
The monk from the woods. Brother Paul said you'd be coming by.
He said you'd bring cheese. It's not easy doing the Lord's work when you're hungry.
I will let the Prior know you neglect your duties. Take care of my horse, I'm late.
I'll just leave it with me. I'll get it down to the Priory later, once I've caught myself a fish down here by the river. Fresh fish is much better than the salted ones they feed us.
Prior James will hear about this.
Prior James? That's him the bells are tolling for. Don't you know? The devil has come to Kingsbridge.
The devil has come to Kingsbridge? Hello? I'm sure there was someone moving behind a window, but most houses are empty. It's locked.
When he opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became blood.
There's no one here either. Where are they?
Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the pestilence that walketh in darkness. The pestilence that rode in on the lightning that struck our cathedral 4 years ago. Did you not all feel its presence here ever since? James did, and I did as well. But the Lord says, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Our beloved Prior James has served the Lord all his life. He shall be delivered from the darkness, from this dark earth.
Prior James?
Philip.
Francis?
For many years, James has been our prior. After the upcoming election, I vow to lead Kingsbridge Priory with the same steady hand. Amen.
Philip, we told your brother you'd come to Kingsbridge New Year's Day.
I did not expect to see you here.
I was on my way back to Gloucester and wanted to see you.
A priest working in the world of politics. You must tell us about it, Francis.
Of course.
And his brother a prior of what now? 2 years?
It's been 4 years, Cuthbert.
I see. How are things in St. John in the Forest, Philip?
Our little cell is happy and healthy.
Happy and healthy. Thanks to your brother, Francis, St. John in the Forest is prospering. His novices are obedient, his monks humble and pious. Well, our own priory is in such a sorry state.
You know James did the best he could. It was not his fault. Also, they make a remarkable cheese in St. John's. Come by the kitchen later to see us, will you?
Brother Cuthbert seemed upset.
Well, we all are. The way James died was disturbing.
Disturbing? How did Prior James die?
7 days ago, Brother Remigius found James's room empty. We all looked for him for hours. Then we found his footprints by the bridge and a hole in the ice.
Oh no.
No.
In the small hours of Christmas Day, he must have walked out on the river. We didn't even find his body. The river took him, and the cold.
I will pray for James. See me when you have time, Philip. I will be in the cathedral.
And I should go and see how Brother Cuthbert is doing. It's good to see you, Philip. Maybe things will get better after the chapter elects the new prior.
Hopefully. I will come by the kitchen later, Milius.
At least it wasn't Remigius who punished us.
You look like you want to ask me something.
You are Philip of Gwynedd?
Yes, but you can call me Brother Philip.
You see? Told you he wouldn't mind.
Yes. Now ask him.
How about you ask him?
I already asked Brother Andrew.
If you promise to lower your voices from now on.
Oh, of course.
We promise.
Brother Milius told us you know the scripture very well. Could you tell us about God's temple?
Brother Andrew wouldn't tell us.
Must be a place. Cathedral.
That's probably what the guest master was talking about.
Each of us is God's temple, in the way that he created us.
And what if someone does something to God's temple?
The scripture says, if anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him.
Even if he destroys his own temple of God?
So for Prior James there's no salvation as well?
Prior James did not commit suicide.
But no one saw him that night. No one knows.
God knows. God knows what sent him running out onto the ice.
They say the devil was chasing him.
Don't say his name.
I have seen brave men run, for many reasons. Never have I seen the devil. So we should not make room for him, neither here nor in our hearts. All right?
Yes, Brother Philip.
Thank you, Brother Philip. So, again, we're all...
What we have to ask ourselves is, can our St. Adolphus still protect Kingsbridge in these dark times?
He couldn't protect Prior James. Ever since that lightning struck the cathedral, he wasn't the same.
When you take over my position as sacrist, you should implore the bishop to send us a new relic. By then I'll be sub-prior. The new prior and I will support you in this.
A new relic might also attract more pilgrims.
Philip of Gwynedd, I wanted to talk to you. How dare you disturb Brother Remigius' requiem?
I'm afraid the choir is waiting for me.
Stay, brother. There's no reason you shouldn't hear what Philip has to say for himself.
I beg your forgiveness. I was overwhelmed when I heard Prior James passed.
You should know better. I'm sure at St. John's you're a good prior, but here we adhere to the rules.
You mentioned a new prior.
The election will be held in a few days, when we all convene for the chapter meeting.
Let us continue this conversation later.
Of course. There's a lot of planning for me to do for the upcoming election.
All of us. Because God created us in his image. That's why we can all pray to him.
Brother Ronaldus, how are you?
Huh? What?
How are you? Are you well?
Oh, Brother Philip. Yes, I am well. It's just that the dead won't stay in the ground.
What?
The dead. It's probably those badgers always digging up the graves.
My father gave the priory a good deal of land to keep me fed. I won't eat salted fish all day.
Me neither.
Shall we go into the cellar again tonight?
Yes, Brother Marcus. You still have old Cuthbert's keys?
Indeed I do. I hid them right in the church. Stuffed them in the large crack in the wall.
I could do some crack stuffing myself.
I bet you could.
We don't need to go to church for that.
No, we are the temple.
But...
No. I heard it, I'm sure.
There was something. He's right.
Now stop it. Concentrate.
There it was again.
I'm happy to see you, little brother.
It's good to see you too, Philip. Your hair is starting to get a bit grey.
Yours isn't. But at least in this one case, I will be the one to boldly charge ahead of you.
You've always been bold. You just don't admit it to yourself.
Francis, what are you doing here?
King Henry is dead.
I know. Word reached St. John's shortly before I left.
First the king, and now Prior James.
God has a plan.
I know he does, but King Henry's death caused quite a commotion in the world of politics. Dark times are coming. There will be war.
Only we could stop the suffering.
Maybe we can. I came not just to meet you. I was sent to look for a messenger of my lord, Earl Robert.
Here? In Kingsbridge?
Farmers said the messenger was heading for Kingsbridge 2 weeks ago. The knight was carrying a confidential document that might change the course of the conflict. People here trust you. Maybe the monks here know something?
We will find him.
One more thing. No one can know why we're looking for the knight.
Our Father that art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. The novice said he hid the keys in here. They're here. I have them. The cathedra. It is not for me to take that seat. You seem troubled, brother.
They won't sing. It's Adolphus. There was nothing, believe me.
I heard him crying in the crypt. I think I heard him too.
No, you are mistaken.
It sounded like a whip, like he was chastising himself. It's the end of days.
Brother Philip, please help me. Prove to them that there is nothing and no one down there.
What was
no
that?
Talking. Now we sing.
Are you sure you heard something?
Yes. Locked. Let's see what we can find. No reason to be afraid. Nothing. These old cathedrals are bound to make strange sounds. Thought so. Nothing here. Even if it is Adolphus, we would have to welcome him. Hello?
thing. Nothing here. The saint rests in peace. Hello? Go! What is that? What is that? It's the size of a child. Hello? Go! Oh. An owl. Just an owl. The choir will be relieved to know that. I should tell them.
Do not hear it.
There is no need to worry, brothers. Adolphus is resting in peace. It was just an owl.
I told you it was nothing.
God bless you, Brother Philip.
I knew I heard something.
Now, be silent, concentrate, and...
Why cathedrals? Why do we create temples if we are the temple?
Brothers, have you two heard about a knight visiting Kingsbridge?
The Earl of Shiring was here, and some of his knights.
And many other nobles at Christmas.
It would have been a lone rider, a messenger.
I don't think so.
If someone had come to Kingsbridge, Brother Paul would have seen him.
Brother Paul went back out to his toll hut.
I see. Thank you.
Isn't it almost arrogant to try and build a greater temple?
Don't say that.
Why not?
This priory is so much bigger than our small cell in the forest.
Philip!
Brother Milius.
Come! Warm yourself by the oven.
Is that Philip? Tell him to warm himself by the oven.
Thank you, Brother Cuthbert. Ah, wonderful.
I always put some extra stones on the stove to warm up water. Put one in your pocket, and you'll keep warm.
Oh? Ouch!
Careful, they're hot.
Brother Cuthbert.
Ah, we were waiting for you. I hope you brought some of that wonderful cheese you make at St. John's.
Of course I did.
Splendid. Thank you.
I will prepare it for our brothers on Sunday.
Has there been a knight to Kingsbridge recently?
Milius, wasn't there a poor soul found dead before Christmas?
I don't know if he was a knight.
He was put to rest in the cemetery.
The cemetery? That was the right thing to do. Brother Cuthbert, you seem worried.
Prior James was a kind man, but the priory is in a terrible state, Philip.
Philip knows. He was just too kind to say anything.
Yes, I know. I wanted to use my New Year's visit to talk with Prior James about these matters.
We should be rich. The priory has much land and collects from many parish churches. But we are in debt. Our novices steal from us, Philip.
The novices are stealing?
Yes, someone took my keys. Remigius blames me for losing them. But someone used them to steal food from the cellar more than once. Today I found something missing again.
Cuthbert, I believe I found your keys.
Where did you find them?
The thief hid them in the cathedral.
That is a sacrilege. Will you report the thief to Remigius, Brother Philip?
I will think about it.
Keep them until we know what to do, will you?
Let us continue another time, Brother Cuthbert.
Of course.
Nice and warm, and I didn't burn my hands, Milius.
I knew you could do it.
Hard at work, as usual, Milius?
I have to serve salt fish 6 times a week now.
We hear you have fresh fish every day at your cell in the forest.
Every other day we even have poultry.
You have done wonderful work at St. John's, Philip. We, on the other hand, had a weak prior for 13 years. May the Lord rest his soul. What you worked hard for at St. John's is wasted here in the mother house.
After the election, the new prior ought to put things right.
Remigius? Put things right?
Who would vote for Remigius? He would be no better than Prior James.
He is the sub-prior, and he made promises to some of the brothers, like the sacrist. He's about to burn all the books and documents in the prior's room, including the priory's ledgers.
Remigius says James asked for everything to be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
What? Without the ledgers, the priory's finances will be beyond saving. Did you see a knight in Kingsbridge?
You mean, aside from the nobles attending the Christmas service? No, I don't remember any knights visiting us.
Was no one else nominated?
Only Cuthbert.
I refused. I'm too old.
No one else dares to follow in Prior James's footsteps. Not since he began talking to the devil.
What?
One day he started talking to the devil, as if they were standing side by side. He was bargaining with the devil for his soul, whispering about his sins.
His sins? We'll talk more later. If there's one man I don't need to preach to, it's Milius.
What was that?
Nothing. It's just... I thought I'd love for you to have more of a say around here.
I'm just the kitchener.
And a friend. If you think I underestimate myself, then you do, too.
Maybe that's why we get along so well.
Milius, why do you keep a beautiful pot like this around?
Oh, it reminds me that we should strive for order and beauty. I started collecting some seeds and nuts because I wanted to start a new garden.
A good idea.
I never got around to collecting more, though. If you find some, let me know.
You keep everything nice and tidy around here, Milius.
It's not easy. This morning one of my ladles broke. That's never a good sign. Everything is falling apart.
Brother Paul?
Philip. Ah, ouch. Oh.
What's wrong with your foot, Brother Paul?
Oh, just a chilblain. It will ease when the spring comes.
You should have a fire.
It's all right. It's not that cold.
Don't take it lightly. Many will die this winter for lack of food or shelter.
Remigius thinks the Lord is testing us. Only the sinners perish.
No, the poor perish, and those that he has freezing out here.
Don't say anything to Remigius, will you? If he thinks I've been complaining, he'll be displeased.
Here, Paul.
Oh. Ouch! Oh. A hot stone! Oh. Ah! It's a mercy, Philip. Thank you.
Remigius should give you a fire, or not have you sit here at all.
I don't really mind. Winter is bound to end sometime. Philip, if you ever run into trouble with Remigius, be careful to answer him. Do not stay silent.
Silent?
Nothing makes him angrier than someone who doesn't answer. He becomes weak and defensive. It's not fitting for a sub-prior, let alone prior.
Have you heard about a knight in Kingsbridge?
A knight? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. He was just lying by the road, just a mile away from the priory. He must have fallen from his horse.
Where is he now?
He died. We buried him in the cemetery.
Did he have a name? Did he say anything?
He could not speak, but the look in his eyes told me he was afraid. I held his hand and prayed with him while he died.
Did the knight have anything with him?
There was a letter. I gave it to Prior James. Remigius will probably burn it with the rest of James's papers. James insisted that all his books and documents should be burnt after his death, except for his Bible.
I heard about this. I think that would be unwise.
Sometimes I wonder if it was because of that letter. A few days later, Prior James fell through the ice. Right here, Philip. Maybe I brought a curse on Kingsbridge.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Have faith in the Lord, Brother Paul. You did well.
Thank you, Philip.
Is this locked?
We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the cathedral. It feeds us.
We are people of God. Yet we need to eat too.
We come together here. The pilgrims donate.
Thank you for your help.
How could I not help you? You're my little brother.
I knew I could rely on you.
The letter is probably in the prior's room. But the sub-prior is going to burn all of James's documents.
What? We cannot allow that to happen, do you hear?
Of course not.
Philip, have you found something yet?
Not yet. I will see what I can do.
I see. A temple to feed the temple.
Yes.
We must take good care of us.
I asked not to be disturbed.
Brother Remigius,
I'm sorry I interrupted your service.
You mean Prior James's service?
Quite so. I heard he fell through the ice. Horrible.
Yes. I was the one who found his rosary by the river. Now let me continue my work.
Why would Prior James walk out onto the river at night?
He was chased.
Chased? By whom?
The accuser.
But why would the devil be chasing him?
Better to not get involved in all this. Don't you have your own priory cell to run?
You really believe the devil killed the prior?
Some of the brothers do, and I respect their beliefs. We may never know what happened, and that's that. Now let me get back to my work.
I would like to take a look at Prior James's documents.
And why is that, Brother Philip?
Well, our little cell has given much to the Mother House. I would like to ensure that all is accounted for.
So you do not trust us, Philip, is that it?
The state of this priory...
The state of this priory is the concern of the Prior of Kingsbridge.
I still would like to see the prior's documents.
They will be burned tonight.
I heard about that.
It was Prior James's last wish. I'm following his request.
But the new prior will be lost without the ledgers and contracts.
After the election, I'll be the new prior.
For now, you are not. Only the chapter meeting can decide on these matters.
Of course. Brother Andrew will surely understand why you would go against James's last request. If you really want to be of help, look for Brother Cuthbert's keys. He's getting old, misplacing them all the time.
About the chapter meeting.
Oh, talk to Brother Andrew. He will be just as pleased as me to have you around. Now leave.
I should talk to Andrew's sacrist instead. It's the only way.
I see. A temple to feed the temple. Yes.
We can't allow Prior James's books to be burned.
That, Philip, was Prior James's wish.
This priory is in debt. And without the ledgers and documents, that will never change. Besides, the wisdom in his books is priceless.
It is not up to you to make decisions in this priory, Brother Philip.
Do not domineer over those in your charge, but be an example to the flock.
1 Peter chapter 5. You are right. You shall argue your case in front of the brothers in a chapter meeting today.
Thank you, Brother Andrew.
When I'm done here, I will tell all the monks to come to the chapter house.
Would it help if I went and told some of them?
Feel free to do that. But I insist that the choir finishes practicing before we start. They're already behind schedule.
We must take good care of us. And our cathedral.
That will not get the chapter meeting started fast. There will be a chapter meeting in a few minutes.
Oh yes, we will be there. Thank you for letting us know.
Brother Andrew has arranged a meeting.
Yes, please go ahead. We will be there in a few minutes.
The sacrist agreed to a meeting today. That way I might be able to get the letter you were looking for.
Good thinking, Philip. I will attend, of course.
Brother Arnaldus, there's a chapter meeting today.
Today, I'll be there. Wouldn't miss that. Rotten edges. We used to eat them. Now, they're eating us.
A waste of time.
It's getting cold. When will these novices learn to close the door?
There will be a chapter meeting today.
You convinced Andrew? Miracles do happen. We will be there. You have our support.
There will be a chapter meeting soon.
Ah, thank you for letting me know, Philip. Remember my advice about Remigius.
The choir has finished singing. The cantor should find time now. Are you ready for the chapter meeting, Brother Philip? If you have any other business to take care of in Kingsbridge, do it now. The meeting could take a long time.
The chapter meeting is more important.
Of course. But there is one more matter I need to address first. We are still looking for the man who stole Cuthbert's keys. Do you know who the thief is?
I cannot give you a name.
If there is a thief among us, we shall find him, if God so wills. Now, let us begin.
And this is why Prior James's wish must not be honoured. Kingsbridge Priory would be beyond saving without financial records.
I think we have all understood the reason for your concern, Brother Philip. But before we come to a decision, let us hear other voices of concern.
I would like to know why you would doubt the wisdom in Prior James's decision.
Maybe you didn't know him as well as we did, Philip. I can say I knew him well. We all here knew him. So did you know him.
How wise was Prior James, really?
Philip, you are going too far. I will tell the bishop about this.
Brothers,
let him speak.
Brothers, please. Let's hear what he has to say.
Oh, heavens.
Hear him out, brothers. I was stubborn as well, but he made me see it.
Well, that's not an easy thing to do.
Yes.
I owe James much. He was the one who asked me to take care of St. John in the Forest.
One of the most prosperous cells in all of Shiring, if not England.
It was a wise decision, then.
But his last wish was not? Well, was it? What are you waiting for? Answer me.
Is walking on thin ice wise?
Who does he think he is?
May the Lord forgive him. He knows not what he is saying.
No. Philip was very hesitant to talk about the state of this priory with me. Usually he is as careful in his words as he is in his actions.
Yes. Philip asked us a question. Was it wise to walk out onto the ice?
God was testing Prior James.
I say the devil chased him. Do you doubt that? Do you doubt that, Philip? Surely you must have an answer.
Then, the devil had a hand in his last wish as well.
Certainly did
It's all my fault.
Oh, well, I'm not so sure.
The devil.
If the devil has come to Kingsbridge, we must cast him out. He has come in the ways of neglect and self-righteousness. Let us look into the books and ledgers. Let us look into the problems that have ailed Kingsbridge for much too long.
We don't need your meddling.
Well, I suppose...
How dare
I agree.
that?
Hear, hear.
He is right. We should not make room for the devil.
Neither here nor in our hearts.
The novices would be better advised not to speak up.
Philip is a good man. He was the only one to say I should have a fire.
But did he do anything besides talk?
Yes, he brought me a hot stone.
That's our Philip.
Very well, Philip. But why don't you tell us the real reason you have come before us? You not only came to save these books, you have another motivation, do you not?
I am here only to help this priory.
This priory, of course. I say it is not a coincidence that he should make his voice heard now, shortly after James's passing and before the elections.
What are you saying, Brother Remigius?
This is not about James. It is about him. He wants to be prior.
No. I came here to talk to James.
I think that is a wonderful idea. I nominate Philip of Gwynedd to be the new prior of Kingsbridge.
I can't disagree with that.
Well, yes, obviously, my choice.
Excellent choice.
What about Remigius?
That's surprising.
Great
Prior
idea.
Philip.
Brother Philip, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you for your kind offer, but we would not want to impose on you, Brother Remigius.
Oh, but I insist. I will help you.
No, you really must not. We will see you later. Thank you. We don't have much time. Evening Mass will begin soon.
Should I not have accepted the nomination?
You've never been good at saying no. And Milius is right. Kingsbridge needs you.
What about St. John's?
I will ride there tomorrow. I will let them know you will be staying in Kingsbridge for a few days. Thanks to you, these documents and books will not be burned. Now, we have to find that letter.
You truly think the letter can help prevent a war?
If the message says what I think it says, then yes, I do. Now, let us look for the letter.
The handwriting on this tablet is hardly legible. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. Did Prior James write this?
Let's continue looking.
James spent much time writing in the last 10 years. Instead of a prior, he became more of a recluse.
That is what you monks do, isn't it?
It used to be. Prior James was working on a text. Our God is a consuming fire, and whom he destroyed shall be raised at the end of days, and shall destroy him. The first line is from the scripture, but I do not believe the second one is.
Philip, we must focus on the letter.
Nothing here.
If we must, we'll look between the pages of every single book. But for now, let's concentrate on the more obvious places to search.
Nothing under here. James was involved in politics once, like you, before he became prior.
Just like me. You see, there is a way then. A way to connect politics and faith.
I wonder. The writing here is strangely distorted and illegible. But it must be James's writing.
Age can be a troublesome burden.
Francis, I think I found it.
In the Bible?
Revelations, the Apocalypse of St. John. And they called to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can stand?" The Lamb? What was James afraid of? Was it this letter?
No, the letter is still sealed. Break the seal.
Oh, this is it. You found it.
The Earl of Shiring is about to start a war.
Yes. He's made contact with my own master, Earl Robert of Gloucester.
Who is this King Stephen that has taken the throne?
A nephew of King Henry. Do you ever think of the day our parents died?
Francis, you know I don't like to talk of that.
I know. It's just that I think of them all the time. And I've always blamed King Henry. The Church suffered under his rule as much as we did in Wales. Philip, you have to show this letter to the Bishop of Kingsbridge.
Why me?
Because you have to. There's no other way. Our late King Henry was opposed to Rome's influence in England. King Stephen, on the other hand, swore to preserve the rights and privileges of the Church, and we can help him if you tell the bishop to protect Stephen.
You want the bishop to help the new king, King Stephen?
I want a king who supports the Church. I want these dark times to end. I want to stop the Earl of Shiring from starting a war. He could set the whole of England on fire. My lord the Earl of Gloucester can never know what I was doing here. You must not tell the truth about how or where you got this letter. Don't tell anyone I was involved.
Do you really think the bishop will help?
Tell him you found the letter by coincidence.
And if he does not believe me, what then?
He will believe you. The question is, will he really try to stop the Earl of Shiring? I will ride to St. John's and tell your monks you will stay in Kingsbridge until the election.
What if the Earl of Shiring finds out what I'm doing? What if the bishop tells him?
Philip, calm down. He is your bishop.
I'm a simple monk. Who am I to talk to a bishop?
Good. He hasn't seen you. Who is he? A whip. That's what he is. A whip? That means he's someone bad. I told you about people like him, remember? Is he a priest? Almost. He's a monk. Although not an ordinary one. Maybe an official for someone important. I don't like this one bit. He looks nice though. He's smiling. Listen, Cub. I am sorry. I know there's so much you want to know about the world out there, but for now, we must stay hidden. And never trust a man of God. Least of all his compassion. You'll either end up in a monastery or at the gallows. Get down.
Easy now, it's just someone little. No need to be afraid.
I'm going to follow him. You go home and wait for me, little cub.
Mother?
Don't move. We killed the pig thief in Salisbury. We can kill you too. Bloody outlaw. Where's the baby? Did you eat it?
I don't have the baby.
Right. What's this?
Give it back.
What do you want with this? You can't read.
Give it back.
Leave the boy be, Alfred.
He took the baby. I saw him take Mother's cloak. He's the only one around. Who else would have taken it?
Wolves.
A monk took it.
A monk?
Yes, on a horse.
Is that true? Where did he go?
He should take us there.
Leave him alone. He's just a boy.
What is your name, boy?
Jack.
Do you live in these woods, Jack? Then you know this place better than us. Please. I don't know why I left the child. I thought I couldn't take care of him alone, but I cannot leave him to die either. I have to know if he's all right. Will you help us? You're a good lad. I owe you.
If you want your silly book back, you better keep your word.
For now, I had no choice. The girl was sobbing, while her father remained tense but quiet. The boy kept on pushing me, which confused me greatly. I had never been hated before. If I had any plans of getting away, it would be like hunting deer. I had to stay sharp until the others forgot to be. The monk had crossed a small stream, or he had followed its course north, which would have led him towards the next village. Either way, the tracks ended at a riverbed as evening was fast approaching. The big man looked at me. "Which way, boy?" he asked. But I could only guess. The stream led us to a more convenient crossing. Here, one could easily pass without getting drenched in icy water. Suddenly, the boy called out. He had spotted something on the other bank. A set of fresh hoof prints. He laughed triumphantly as our eyes locked. So, we crossed the river, the boy cheerfully mocking my skills as a tracker.
What is it?
He got us lost.
Did you?
Papa, I'm tired.
That's all right. Come on, up on my shoulders you go.
No, I'm too heavy, and you're too tired anyway. I will remain steadfast.
You should all get some rest. Alfred, stay here with them while I take a look ahead.
No, don't go.
I won't be far, dear. Besides, you can do me a favour while I'm gone. Have an eye on the lads and make sure they get some sleep, all right?
All right.
See? You are steadfast. I won't be long.
You stay where I can see you while my sister rests. And no tricks. Huh? What is it? Did you hear something?
The fog is lifting.
I don't like you. Tell me, why do you care about your book so much? Wait, where is it? You sneaky thief. I knew it. You just want to rob us.
You took it first.
You're an animal. You don't even know what it is.
The Lord and King of all France, Charles the Great, has spent 7 long years fighting in Spain. He has conquered the highlands and the plain. Before him, not a single fort remains.
What are you rambling on about?
It's from the book.
How do you know this? You're an animal.
I'm not an animal. I'm a hunter.
A hunter? What do you hunt?
Boar, duck, deer.
So you are an outlaw. No one's allowed to hunt deer except for the king.
The king?
Hey, you see that? Over there in the fog. There is something there. What is it?
A deer. It broke through the ice and died.
Children! Martha, wake up, dear.
Who's she?
We met in the forest. I'm Jack's mother. Come here, Jack.
Did you find him?
Yes, dear, we did.
The baby is safe. The monk brought it to a small cell not far from here.
But we won't go there now. Ellen offered us shelter for tonight.
I have. Follow me.
If I'd known you lived this close, my Agnes might have been saved.
Don't fool yourself. When a woman is bleeding inside, it either stops or it doesn't. All you can do is keep her warm, and you did that. I'm sorry, but the living must take care of the living. Jack, give the children some soup, will you? Will you be able to get work soon?
Hard to say. People don't usually hire a new master builder in winter. Too cold for stirring water.
Thank you, Jack.
Sometimes you get lucky, but not this year. Some time ago I had work in Exeter. They offered me the post of builder for the Castellan to keep the walls and defences in shape. And it would have kept me busy for the rest of my life. We would have lived like bishops.
What happened?
I refused. All I cared about was working on a cathedral again. I was a fool.
You can do better than to build churches.
Well, I worked on one once. That was good work. I won't ramble on now. But if you ask Martha, she'll tell you everything about it.
You know, a man like you should not beat himself so hard.
No. No, there is no excuse for leaving my baby son behind.
Women die in labor. Men abandon their children all the time. It is rare that they return.
Is that what happened to you and your son?
No. That is an altogether different story. One I haven't even told Jack yet. All I can say is, I raised him alone in this cave, outside of town law. Just us and the forest.
How do you get by?
We hunt, we gather. It works well enough for us two to survive. You can thank Jack for the meal, by the way. My little cub caught his first deer today, all by himself.
I'm impressed.
What's a cathedral?
It's a big house for people to pray.
They go there to rob each other?
No, they don't prey on each other. They talk to God.
It's a place of worship and a home for priests and monks.
Oh.
Eat well, children. You'll need your strength.
And so do you, Master Builder. Go on, tuck in.
I will. Thank you. Well, they're asleep now. So, what is it?
I told you that the monk had taken the baby to a small cell nearby. It's true, but I advise you to stay away from there.
What? Why?
Because you abandoned it. That counts as murder.
Then I have to steal him. I have to own up to what I've done. I have to take back my son.
Think for a moment. You have been out of work since summer. A baby needs a lot of care. More than your other children. How will you feed him?
But what am I to do then? Live like you? I don't know a thing about hunting. I'm a mason. Even in a castle I'm more at home than here.
Leave the baby with the monks. He'd be warm and fed. You wouldn't have to carry him while you look for work. And when you do find something, you can come back and fetch him.
I don't know. Since Agnes died, I don't know anything anymore.
You're a good man, Tom Builder. You're kind and gentle and strong. You will do the right thing. You also don't have to go through this alone, you know. Jack and I will have to leave this place soon. The winter is too cruel, and we might not survive if we stayed. We could all travel together.
I don't know. I have my hands full with my children already.
I can help you take care of them. If you promise to teach my son how to get along in the world of men. We may be strangers now, but we would be at each other's side, helping out however we can.
The living must take care of the living.
Yes.
That night I dreamed of a strange world. One of knights and monks preying upon each other in a big, dark cave. There were small castles, dead deer, and a giant called Tom. In that dream I was happy. I tightly held my mother's hand, watching the kind giant and learning his mysterious ways. On our way, I told Martha the names of my trees. There was the birch, Jerusalem, and the oaks, Alexandria and Byzantium. When I pointed out Rome, she laughed and named an apple tree Southampton. The farther we walked, the merrier she became, christening all the new trees Winchester, Bath, Salisbury, while I grew quieter and quieter. Finally, we arrived at a large road. This heads towards Shiring, Tom said. The strangest name of them all. By noon, we had reached the edge of town. Mother gave us some dry prunes to chew while she argued with Tom whether we should head directly to town or past the palace of the so-called bishop. Tom was hopeful to find work at the palace, but Mother seemed uneasy. As we approached the building, Tom noticed the cold in Mother's eyes. Although she had agreed to accompany him to the bishop, she had remained quiet about her true feelings, while Tom didn't see it fit to ask. Gradually, the palace came into view. A servant to the Bishop of Shiring agreed to talk to Tom. He was hesitant, but not unwilling to hire a master builder for the winter. His expression changed, though, when he noticed Mother and me. "I am sorry," he said, not unkindly. "Maybe the Earl of Shiring will hire you. His castle is nearby, and I heard he may be in dire need of people like you." He smiled encouragingly, then sent us off, claiming his bishop had business to attend to at Kingsbridge Priory.
You don't know me. You're misjudging whatever it is I did. I'm willing to forgive your mistake if you accept my offer now.
This is all about family honor to you, isn't it? Perhaps I should tell you about my mother. She was a happy person who loved to laugh and tell stories, but father made her miserable. Oh, he's not a bad man, but solemn and strict. She hated him so much she died from it.
Are you saying you don't like me?
You're so self-centered. You never think about anyone else's feelings. You have no refinement, and you can barely read. What were you expecting?
One day you will see that you are wrong, and then I won't be so forgiving.
All right. Let's hope it's true and the Earl needs us.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Alfred, keep an eye out. I'll be right back. And boys, try to get along.
An eye out for what?
Papa wants him to look for things that are broken.
Some people don't know they need a mason until you show them.
Papa could fix their walls or build a house.
One man can build an entire house? I want to see.
Learn what you can, but don't stray too far.
Ugh. Why won't anyone just give me something to eat?
Jack, be careful. Don't get too close.
I can't believe the Earl allowed his daughter to refuse him. How scandalous.
Well, William Hamley is an idiot. I wouldn't marry him either. She deserves someone better. Such a very bright and charming girl.
Hello, my name is Jack.
She's an arrogant one, just like her father.
Don't say that. It's not arrogance. It's nobility. You have to be like that if you want.
Are you knights?
We are?
Why, you want to be like us?
Like you?
Tell you what, snatch us some food from the queue, and we might train you.
Very good. That should be a valuable first lesson.
What is it, boy? You just want to stand there and stare? All right, then. Let's see what you've got.
Are you a knight?
No talking. That'd be cheating. Ah, reckoned you'd be as ballsy as your ginger, but my mistake. Another time, perhaps. Cheers, lad.
Are you a knight?
I'll be damned if I wasn't. Would have risked my life for nothing if all I was supposed to do was bake bread. Be warned, lad. Get a job that pays. Not one where you have to pay for a new horse every time someone kicks your arse. Being a knight costs you, especially when you're also a drunkard. Damn, if only I'd known.
Will you be fighting soon?
Why are you asking? All right, let me tell you a secret. Can you keep a secret? What colour is your shite, boy?
Brown.
Nice. Mine's grey, like ash. But that's a secret, isn't it? For my shite's colour is neither your nor anyone else's business. So you'd better keep that to yourself. Got it?
Will you be fighting soon?
Still need to know if you can keep a secret, boy. What's my shite's colour again? Excellent. Looks like you can keep your mouth shut after all. You want to be in on the real deal now? Then just say the words. What's your bloody secret, Catface?
What's your bloody secret, Catface?
Well put, boy. Well put. For bloody it is. We are all going to fight soon. It's for a thing called loyalty. See, all these knights are loyal to one man, and he is loyal to another. And he then is loyal to yet another, a woman, who is the rightful queen of the English. For some here, loyalty's all about coin and favours and power. But for me, it's all about whom I trust, whom I'd follow all the way to hell for all the right reasons. Going to hell together with confidence and trust. It's what's holding this world together, boy. Ah. So, you understood my little secret? Good.
Do you need a mason?
Me? Well, these battlements could use a fresh stone or two, but apart from that, I don't know a bloody thing about building, and I don't want to. All I care about is a good sturdy wall and some hot tar to keep my enemies warm. That reminds me of a story. Want to hear a story, boy? Well, you see, I'm not just one for a good solid tarring. But back in my day, I was also quite the stealthy bastard, if I may say so. So this one time, me and my men lay siege to this castle. While both sides rested for the night, I took my crowbar and swam over to the enemy. There was this piece of wall where the mortar had gone away, and one could easily look through the holes into their courtyard. So, what did I do? I smoothly tore a hole with my crowbar and snuck inside. Then, what you want to do is hit them where it really hurts.
That's not always the groin. In this case, it was their old well barely standing up. So, one kick, and all its rocks tumbled and covered the hole. From then on, they were without water. The shortest siege in the history of sieges. And not one man died. All because I had an eye on the wall and made good use of that well.
That's what knights do?
Knights do a lot of things, lad.
How did you end that siege again?
I looked for a wall where the mortar was gone. I kicked in their ramshackle well. Easy.
Huh.
What a strange boy.
Watch your step, you little twit.
Don't mind him, boy. That's just William Hamley. He was hoping for a princess, but all he got was a boot.
What's he doing? Do you think he forgot something?
His dignity, perhaps?
Look, you strike me as an honest worker, but we have a right who does all the repairs for us.
Then something else, maybe? I heard rumours that there's all kinds of work here.
Well, unfortunately, it's not builders we're looking for. Actually, it's quite the opposite.
I understand. Thank you for your consideration. Walk with me, boy. So, have you heard about anyone else who might need a mason?
Last summer they were building at the mine.
Even a fool can see these buildings need work. If the Earl's not worrying about his stalls and his kitchens, it might be something else.
What do you need work for?
It pays. It buys shelter and clothing and we don't have to starve. Not everyone can live in a forest, boy.
No?
No. People need to be around people. And for that, things have to be set in stone. Like the laws in towns, or rents, or wages. If everyone did whatever they liked, things would get very bad very quickly.
They refused you.
Oh, just because work rarely falls into one's lap, that doesn't mean there is none. I'll give this place a look over while you tell your mother to be patient.
What are you looking for?
Something to convince the Earl that keeping things the way they are won't do for long. Could be something small, like washed out mortar or a loose column. Yeah, I need to see the hole before I can carve the rock.
Can't you work somewhere else?
Not if we want to eat tonight.
You can build castles?
Well, if I have the money and the people, yes. Maybe one day I'll show you how it's done. I'm going to talk to some people. You just keep an eye out. And if you see something I can fix, let me know.
Where did you get that?
Just eat it.
I can see we're going to be good friends.
My lady,
Yes, Matthew?
there are 2 children downstairs, desperately wanting to see you.
Children?
A rather cheerful little girl, and an annoying boy.
Well, considering that it is my role to tend to my father's guests, I believe I can see them.
Your father let you renounce a wedding. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you declined this as well.
But a cheerful little girl?
And an annoying boy.
We will get along. You may bring them up. Oh, it's you. I noticed you and your parents from my window. What can I do for you? You're quite shy, aren't you? Would you like something to eat?
But they won't serve food yet.
They do what I tell them. I will have Matthew get you some bread.
Yes, please. Where's your mother?
My mother died.
Aren't you sad?
I was, but that was a long time ago. My brother Richard can't even remember her.
My mother's dead too.
When did she die?
Last week.
Oh. Who's that woman with you then?
That's my mother.
And where's your father?
I never had a father.
Where did you come from then?
From my mother. All young things come from their mothers. What have fathers got to do with it?
I think you should have a word with your mother. Come on, I want to show you something. Have you ever been up this high before?
No. Wow. All the people look so small. Like little mice. You must be up here every day.
I used to, but nowadays I try to hold myself back.
Why?
We are about to make some great enemies. If our first assault fails, they may want to lay siege to our castle, so I will have to get used to staying up here for a long while. I suppose this view will bore me soon enough. Till then, I'm trying to keep it special.
And you're sharing it with us. I don't think that I'd ever get bored by this.
Come on, let's go back down. Matthew will take you to your parents. How did it go?
Oh, she was so pretty. Don't you agree, Jack?
Lady Aliena is expecting an attack.
An attack? So the Earl is planning to go to battle. That's very helpful, Jack. You did a very good job, son. Now come along. You deserve to see if it works.
Look, I'd like to give you work, but we don't need you.
I just hope you're not expecting a siege soon.
Why do you say that?
Your defences are in bad repair.
Be specific, man.
The mortar in your walls has come away in places. This leaves an opening for a crowbar, and once there's a hole, it's easy to pull the entire wall down.
Anything else?
Yeah, the keep has an undercroft with a wooden door. If I were attacking the keep, I'd go through that door and start a fire in the stores.
And if you were the Earl, how would you prevent that?
I'd have a pile of stone ready shaped and a supply of sand and lime for mortar. And a mason standing by ready to block up that doorway in times of danger.
Matthew, may I have a word with you?
Well, we have a home. For now. You know, this is all thanks to your son, Ellen.
What did he do?
He did what you were supposed to do. He kept an eye and an ear out, and finally helped me convince the Earl. Grab your things, everyone, and follow me. It's time we put a roof over our heads.
And thus Tom Builder had finally found work. Little did we know then that it wouldn't last for long.
It's good you sent your brother to tell your flock in St. John's about your nomination. If you'd gone yourself, they might not have let you leave again.
There is a good chance I will return to St. John's after the election today.
Why so pessimistic?
Many of the brothers still want Remigius to become prior.
Running St. John's must be hard work. But running Kingsbridge Priory would be a much greater task.
Perfect for our brother Philip. Tell me, Philip, what will be the first thing that you do when you are elected?
We will repair the cathedral.
It's about time.
Long overdue. If only we weren't in debt. How would we pay for the repairs? You cannot go in there. What was that? Who are these people?
Hey!
Step back. Step back, I said.
What is going on out there?
Soldiers?
Did they start a war again? Those fools.
Philip! It's Francis. They have Francis.
Francis.
Brother Philip, I'm afraid these soldiers are looking for your brother. He has just arrived. 2 of them followed him into the cloister.
No, no.
They said they're looking for someone.
They were questioning some of our brothers.
What's your name? It would be easier for us all if you just came with us.
What about the child? Is it yours?
Francis.
Like it or not, you'll be coming with us.
We were looking for you.
What are you doing here? And who is... Who is that?
I found him. In the woods.
Hey! Hey!
We fed him goat's milk in St. John's. Johnny Eightpence did. He says he misses you.
He was always very sentimental.
Hey!
Philip, you must not tell these men my name. My Lord Robert of Gloucester believes me to be in Winchester.
I gave the letter to the bishop. He said he'd help.
May God have mercy on us. I was wrong to send you.
What is it?
These men are with the bishop. He is here, in Kingsbridge.
The bishop is here?
Hey, you two. You should listen when you're spoken to. Who are you? And what about the child?
Did you make it? Did you two do it and make a little baby? By God, you look so funny. Oh, come on, let me hold him.
A name, or both of your names. Come on, you two.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
What?
One of the 10 Commandments. Do you not know them?
Oh, save your words, monk.
Do you not know of heaven and hell?
I do. I know of them. I know of heaven and hell.
If you know and still go against the word of God, you will not be saved. Not heaven awaits sinners, but hell, the lake of fire.
We'll take hell, then.
No. No.
William.
What is your name, monk?
I am Philip. Philip of Gwynedd.
It's him we're looking for, not the other one.
Monks, they all look alike.
We were looking for you. Bishop Wailerun wants to see you.
Oh.
We found him. He's here. Tell the bishop.
I found the monk. The bishop. Tell the bishop.
Go on, monk. We'll all keep an eye on you.
You will be safe.
What are you waiting? Don't let the bishop wait.
Go on, monk.
That's the monk. We're in, isn't he? Tell the bishop. I thought he would at least be taller than me.
What is going on here, Philip?
I don't know.
He's expecting you.
Philip. There you are.
The Right Reverend Bishop Wailerun, by God.
Philip and I are already acquainted.
You were looking for me, my bishop?
I was. Remigius, Philip does look distressed, does he not?
Yes, he does.
Tell me, what is on your mind?
Soldiers have invaded the priory.
Invaded? Oh, of course. I have gotten too used to the presence of knights and nobles. The work of a bishop. The reason why these men are outside right now is your letter, Philip. As I suspected, it did convince my allies to go against the Earl of Shiring. These allies of mine insisted that their knight should accompany me along with their son, and very soon they will ride against the Earl.
I understand, my bishop.
Philip, I have the feeling that there is a storm rising. Right here, in Kingsbridge. And in the eye of that storm stands one man. You. Around you, things begin moving. Don't they, Remigius?
Yes.
But there is one important thing you have kept from me.
There is? My bishop.
You did not mention that you, Philip, were nominated to be Prior of Kingsbridge. The brothers here will elect their new prior today, will they not?
The election will take place in a few hours, my bishop.
We need a strong prior. James was my friend, but a strong prior he was not. We are in agreement on these matters, are we not, Remigius?
Of course, Right Reverend. The bishop and I agreed you should have this.
Very well. Now, when your distinguished guests arrive, what will be the subject of your first sermon as the new prior of Kingsbridge?
I think what I would talk about is... I beg your forgiveness, but I do not understand.
Most of your brothers agree with me on this matter. Remigius has talked to them. They will vote for you.
As will I. And I will support you in your duties in my role as sub-prior.
A role you have fulfilled wonderfully in the past, Remigius. Wonderfully.
My bishop?
Philip of Gwynedd. You will be the new prior of Kingsbridge.
In humbleness I stand before you, most humbled by your trust and humbled by the great tasks ahead of us. We must restore Kingsbridge to do justice to the glory of God and to his mercy. The desperate and the hopeless everywhere shall hear our bells. They shall see our towering cathedral. Our great church will become a guiding light, the first and foremost. Through our actions and our faith, we ourselves shall be such a light to the lost, the hurt, and the suffering on their path to God.
The Earl of Shiring is not in attendance, it seems.
He is not. Shameful. He's busy preparing his siege on Winchester.
I trust he does not know we are about to foil his plans, Percy.
Answer the bishop, my husband.
No, he does not expect us, not at all. My men are ready.
So is our son.